Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Pinball FX2. So last time we did a rather disappointing Episode 7 Return of the Jedi. Played that for about 30 minutes and then I just was bored of it. Completely bored. So then I decided we'd cover some of these DLC tables I haven't purchased yet, just on the demo to show how the quick first impressions of it. And I like the Alien vs Predator ones. I didn't really like this Family Guy animation domination. It's not the right phrase, but that's kind of what it is. These 4 animated comedy shows which are bundled together. The one thing to point out though is I looked at the prices of some of these and they're like $6 to $10. Some of the Marvel new ones are $3 for 2 tables, but the others are really expensive, particularly when you come from the perspective that I haven't liked the majority of the tables. Now, $3 to me sounds like not too much. We're going to play Mars today, so let's go ahead and hop into it. Let's check the achievements. Collect 5 samples of the space shuttle and deactivate the pyramid defense system. So this is going to be a Mars with people on it. Alright, that's fine. Like, I could kind of get $3. That's about what I would pay for any table if I was walking up to a real pinball table. $2.50 is to get 5 games. But when you're starting to get above $3, then I have to potentially play that pinball table more than I very well might. A lot of these tables I have no interest in playing them ever again. Or maybe I'll have interest in playing them again in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, which at that point that's a mistake to buy something that you're only going to play twice in 10 years. This is very interesting. There's these symbols in the surface of the Mars art there, and those are going to be the missions. So the decision here, I think, is to have no actual, no readable text, so we won't be spelling things in that fashion. Instead, I bet we'll line up each of these blue arrows. It's got a nice art style. There's a couple of ramps here that are connected by a blue laser. I wonder if that blue laser is going to change. The face of Mars, the score multiplier by 10. You spell things with the inlanes again. Well, and it looks like there's 4 missions: Sunstorm, Pyramid, Satellite, Refuel. So I think we can probably have a decent time with this. This feels kind of like Stargate. I wouldn't be surprised if they wore a Stargate fan and tried to get the license for it, and simply they decided they couldn't, or the people didn't care. I wouldn't be surprised if either whoever owns Stargate wasn't really interested in promoting it, since they're not making any more of those shows.
Houston, we lost you.
Houston! I don't know who owns Stargate. It's probably a production company, because it started on Epix or Stars, one of the premium cable channels, and then went for a couple seasons in SG1, and then Sci-Fi was funding all the others. So we've got this space shuttle that flew in, taking up a decent amount of the screen space here. That's a slight problem. Okay, now we've got another satellite. This robot here. And I think this orbiting satellite would pick up the ball in certain spots if I knew what I was aiming for. Probably that blinking red light over there.
We lost you. Houston!
So, something I can feel here is they don't have... Ooh, skill shot, nice. They don't have a strong enough story, it feels like here. Yeah, that guy jumping around, again, displaying...
Awesome.
Blocking the display is not appreciated at all. Apparently, I'm supposed to hit that, or maybe if going back and forth. No, I think I'm supposed to hit that. And that ship sure hasn't gone anywhere. That ship wasn't there at the beginning. I know it wasn't. So it's kind of strange that I'm not losing it when I lose a ball. So I don't have to make the standard, the very common, at least argument here, that there's too many ramps.
Ball scan.
I do have to say though that there's kind of a small lack of objects here. We're hitting the same ramps over and over again because there's well, same ramps, same drop targets, same sinkhole targets. If I can get the names of the things right. They're not actually drop targets on this table, it's just regular proper targets. Or just targets in general, maybe that's a better way to call them. Maybe there is a drop target hidden back behind the spaceship. Are there any pop-up bumpers? Maybe back behind the spaceship. With so much of the screen hidden, it's hard to be certain. I don't know what scanning the ball is doing. Because it's not lighting up these things.
Mission accomplished. We are running low on fuel. Refill the tanks.
So hit the out lane, I believe. I have 3 more seconds to refuel, and I didn't succeed. Wait, I got 6 more seconds. So keep the ball in play.
Fantastic.
And that refuels the ship once. So I have to do that 3 times. Well, if it weren't for the fact of the 6-second timer here, insisting, man, Man, that ramp is too steep. This would be fine. In fact, this would be
Awesome.
like fuel collected. Somehow we fill the tank. For 2, it's funny. The animation here is just a standard like rubber gas tank. Plastic, not rubber, gas canister. Not something you would expect in a spaceship. There we go. So all tanks are fueled. So we succeeded on that, which is nice.
Nice shot.
Just looking at my score, actually, I've got 29 million, and this is a very rare case where I feel like what I've done deserves the 29 million. Not greatly, because this hasn't been a very difficult table, but I feel like I've played intentionally within the rules of this game and been rewarded appropriately, and that has happened very, very rarely. In fact, I'm not sure it's happened at all before on any other table. I mean, I'm not just playing. I'm not just keeping the ball in play with no idea what I'm supposed to do. Right now, I clearly can see the 2 ramps it wants me to hit the ball up. Yeah, there are some problems back there, aren't there? And if I can get up there. And starting the mission here is kind of difficult with the whole scan element, but doing the mission was easy, and it wasn't impossible to start a mission.
Houston, we lost you. Houston.
So it's lowercase a's. Interesting. None of the other leaderboards have had lowercase letters. It's always been uppercase. So that was a really good game. Let's now look at the table. It's kind of strange that they dropped the ball so much, in my opinion, on episode 7, and then this custom table that has no theme is doing pretty well. So here's hit the left to the spaceship, hit the left ramp to dock the spaceship. Second shot on the ramp activates sample collecting. In this mission you have to pick up the ball 5 times using a magnetic crane to the spaceship, then hit the left ramp twice to start ignition. In this mission you need to activate the spaceship's engine. When it's done, the spaceship will fly away, and the main mission, Sunstorm, will be lit on the left hull. So I may not be able to do other missions different ways. Hit the middle ramp twice. Ooh, this cross ramp. That's going to be a difficult one. I didn't even see that. To start the pyramid mission. During this mission you have to build up 1 level of the pyramid by hitting the bumpers 10 times. If you complete all 3 levels, the pyramid main mission will be lit. So they're explaining this badly. I think they're saying you're getting missions to start missions, and that's not making a lot of sense. Hit the vertical up kicker for the satellite. Second shot of the vertical up kicker to start scanning. In this mission you have to scan the galaxy by hitting the flashing shots. Then you need to reactivate the satellite to start the next mission. In the next mission, you need to recharge the satellite battery. Find the correct switch by shooting the ramps. So the way they're making this out, it's like there's 8 of them, but I kind of feel like there's only 4 of them. Even their own art is saying there's only 4. You need to reactivate the satellite to start the next mission. In the next mission, you recharge the satellite battery, finding the correct switch by shooting ramps. Satellite 3, okay. You need to reactivate again to start the third mission, where you can lock 3 balls into the satellite. When the 3 balls are locked, satellite main mission will be lit at the lift hole. Space Spider, hit the ramp to land with the Space Spider, hit it again to start analysis mission. In this mission you need to hit the 5 hologram icons. After completing this mission, the refuel main mission will be lit. So I'm starting to see a slight issue here that I'm not going to have fun with. I may be able to start the refuel mission over and over again, but I'm going to have to do something completely different to start the other missions. Hit the 2 stand-up ramps on the side of this big ramp, and now the space station mode is activated. In this mission, you build up one of the 4 parts of the space station by hitting the flashing shots. After building up a part, you need to divert the ramp again to start the mode and continue building. Complete the space station mission by building all 4 parts. So, a lot of work there, really. Hit the slingshots 20 times to start this multi-ball. What? So you get multi-ball by hitting the slingshot 20 times, which apparently is the appropriate term for the bumpers right above the flippers. Slingshots, interesting. I'll start using that in my terminology. There's a lot of things that I don't know the proper names for in pinball, because you don't go to pinball school or take a class in pinball. You just walk up to a pinball machine in an arcade and start playing, and they don't explain what things are. And that's again a point where Pinball FX has dropped the ball, because they certainly could make a video, a tutorial, or just text that would explain every single thing. This round silver thing is called a pinball, or just the ball for short. These white things that go up and down are called the flippers. This stick you pull at the beginning is called the plunger. These are in lanes, these are out lanes, these are ramps, these are called roundabouts or loops. These are sinkhole targets, these are drop down targets, these are regular targets. This is a magnetic toy. Like, basic things aren't explained ever in any pinball, and that's kind of a problem. Portals of light, let's see, shoot the stand-up target bank on the left. See, they're calling regular targets their stand-up targets. Is that the terminology I should use? Maybe. Teleball the ball 10 times in 30 seconds without letting the ball drain. So if I can spell Mars there, I have to hit those 2 circles back and forth. Interesting. Main mission start. After you activate one main mission, the red arrow will appear in front of the lift hole. Hitting the lift hole will start the activated main mission. If you've activated more than one mission, the lift hole will start a main mission selection mode instead. You can change the selection by hitting the spinners, shooting left hole again to start the main menu. In Sunstorm, you divert the Sunstorm by hitting all of these different things, whatever's flashing. In the Pyramid Final, you need to deactivate the Pyramid Defense System by hitting the flashing lanes 6 times in all 6 of the stand-up targets, 4 on the left and 2 on the right. Then you need to lock your balls into the pyramid where I don't know what a pyramid is. Refuel, you need to go up those flashing things, satellite, go up the flashing things. And the final mission, when all 4 missions are complete, the final mission will start automatically. In this mission, you need to hit the flashing symbols, which add a new ball, and then a countdown just starts from 10 million. You can collect the jackpot by hitting the lift hole. Kickbacks by hitting all of the rollovers. Ball save by hitting all the targets. And that's all this is gonna tell me. Alright, let's get back to playing. So yeah, their general story here is lacking, and I have to be careful certainly because I did spend just last night watching Interstellar, which is a pretty epic space movie. Although I'd say it's more about like people than it is about traveling space, and they don't actually go to Mars. But it has a lot of story, that movie, and this is just like we don't know who we're playing as. We don't know the names of any of the crew members. We don't know the name of the ship. We don't know what the mission of the ship is. It's called Mars, so I assume we're on Mars doing something. Are we investigating? Or like we've got all these let's see. We've got all these things
Fantastic.
going on. Alright, so I can catch it if I hit it there. But I have to be pretty precise to hit that shot. And if I go up that ramp, I need to be very strong going up that ramp. And I hit the wrong thing, which seemed to stop the satellite mode. Which is weird.
Houston, we lost you. Houston.
Like, we just have this guy going, Houston, we lost you, so. Now, I suppose thematically for Mars, you kind of have to make it all up immediately, don't you? Because as far as we know today, there's not that much interesting on Mars. I think we found some simple single cell or life organisms on Mars that most people don't know about, and I'm not sure that we didn't see fossils of that, or maybe I might be misremembering the story. We maybe just saw organic matter or something that could lead to organic matter. We certainly have not seen evidence of an entire society building a pyramid and any kind of advanced technology or people. So all that, probably if you're going to do a Mars-themed story,
An ancient pyramid has just appeared on Mars.
should just be fictionalized. And I like the fictionalization there. It's a good one. 2, 3. We got it. I got an achievement for that too. Did I get an achievement? I want to go back and look at what that was, because I don't know if that was because I hit all those in a row, or if that's because I just did it. I mean, that was a kind of difficult task, certainly.
All scan.
Hitting precise shots isn't my best forte. I'm not that good of a pinball player, and I'm certainly not that good of a pinball player on this specific table. I suppose, in a general sense, you might eventually get good enough to just know, well, this shot is at 5 degrees, so I'll make a 5-degree shot. And subconsciously, that's probably exactly what I'm doing. But there are elements, usually further up the playfield, that will be different per table, and that's stuff that you can't succeed at. See, that would be interesting if Pinball FX gave you a practice table. Back to my thought, if you could make your own table, if they had like a modding tool, if you could just make one with very standard things like 2 flippers, 3 in lanes on both sides, and nothing else on the table, and then it would just show you what angle you shot with the flippers. That would be potentially helpful, because then you could sit there and go, well, I need to make this shot, and then you would go, well, that's a 19-degree shot, so I'll just sit here and practice 19-degree shots over and over again. Of course, if you're going to sit there and practice those types of flip shots, then you have to slow down the ball, like I just tried to do, and I lost the ball to make an example, which was stupid. Speaking of slowing down the ball, I have yet to see them actually slow down the gameplay. Which is very nice, certainly. It's nice to have a pinball table here where you can just keep on playing.
Fantastic.
Am I supposed to hit under that satellite? Am I supposed to hit the standing targets? I don't think I can hit these left targets. That's an incredibly sharp, just the tip of the flipper there is all I can use, which means I have to risk losing the ball with every shot if I'm too slow. So yeah, I don't think I can do this. You can sit there and want me to scan it all day and night, but I can't hit those targets. They're in really awkward positions. I could probably hit the Mars targets and be a little safe about that, but for me, that's an impossible shot. So I guess I should just continue playing and see if maybe time will run out or something else will happen. Apparently they want me to go into the out lane.
Mission accomplished. Nice
Oh,
shot.
so it was scanning over there, but that was not where it was, where the ball wanted me, where they wanted me to go with the ball. Interesting. That's a mistake. That's a total mistake. Zen Studios still seems like they just don't understand the concept of not distracting a person while playing pinball. Which, of course, I haven't made that argument yet that I am a better pinball player usually when I'm focusing. I probably would be a slightly better pinball player if I wasn't talking and criticizing the table at the same time. But I don't feel like it's completely justified or fair to blame all my mistakes or the fact that I'm losing a lot on a lot of the tables to that. I think it's much more accurate to say the tables just aren't good. So we've got system failure on the screen. Is that a mode or? I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're aiming for. That ramp on the left is by far too long. They could have done something cool here and had like a magnet accelerator. So when you got up there on that ramp, it sped it up and shot it through. I think you can do that in pinball in the real world. Certainly could do it on a fake table like this in the virtual world. I think pinball really is from the heyday of magnets being cool. Kids these days, they probably won't have anywhere as much appreciation as previous generations. Of course, even my generation has similar things, like people of previous generations that are older than me used to play with pewter and lead and melt that and make little figurines out of it until they found out that that was highly toxic and that you shouldn't do that. They used to play with mercury too, and all that wouldn't be allowed anymore. It's really, really easy to get kickbacks on this table. That's nice, because it starts down this path. If you can get a kickback really easily, you can stay in, you can keep the ball in play a lot easier.
Houston.
Like, here's a perfect example of the only way I could have lost is by sending the ball down the center, and I managed to do it. All this being said, and this is a pretty nice table, I am very possibly only going to interesting, we got the satellite without getting the spaceship. I'm very possibly not going to get a high score any higher than what I've already got. It does seem like the addition, what was I talking about? Man, I'm distracting myself here. Yeah, it's totally slipped my mind what I was talking about. Oh, too much stuff is happening on the pinball table right now. So it's not specifically like for Mars theme, but space themes you could have done a wormhole. That would have been an interesting element to consider adding. You could have talked about the moons of Mars. I think Mars has a few moons. You could launch a probe as a general thing to do. Maintain or establish an orbit. I kind of wish I could do the pyramid one, but I bet I'm never going to be able to make any progress there. And see, it's a timer for that, which means as I shoot up these ramps, I'm actually wasting my time, my precious time. Come on, one more.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. You're basically unlocking missions before you can play the missions. And that's not great. We've seen that in other pinball tables that they've made. It's severely limiting my ability to even redo the refill mission, which I guess I just lucked into. I am starting to seriously wonder if maybe they're cheating here, and they've programmed it to make it easier to get a high score for the first time, doing some kind of like Candy Crush mental manipulation, which is what Candy Crush does. So if this was a gambling device, the gambling convention of any state would say that the pinball would have to react exactly in the same way as a pinball reacted in the real world. So they couldn't cheat or sneakily move them all and make it hit targets when it was actually going to miss, which is about the only non-obvious way you could cheat, and it was very difficult to prove that it was, if it was doing something like that. But since this is not a gambling device, there's really no regulations that say the pinball has to act in any way. They could speed it up, they could slow it down, they could make it hit targets or curve in ways that it shouldn't go easily. Now I feel like it's just too easy to spell the end lane, and I don't think I'm increasing a score multiplier or anything by having both of the
Houston, we lost you. Houston.
Kickbacks enabled, and so that's kind of annoying. Wasted opportunity. Thought right there we might get the slingshot multi-ball, but there's almost no way to get the ball to hit the slingshots. If you've been watching, very rarely does the ball even hit these things.
Fantastic.
And that's a good thing that the ball doesn't hit the slingshots, because the slingshots tend to sling the ball around in crazy directions and make you lose. Starting to run out of things to say. Let's see, how long have we been playing? 40 minutes? Yeah. I think that's probably the worst thing you can say about this table, is that it's just kind of lacking in features, lacking in story, but everything that's here is good, where most of the other tables have been lacking in features and lacking in story, and half the things that are there are bad. I don't think I could do the main mission that requires hitting all the drop-down targets, so I would like to have seen those in different places, or just rethought in some other way, changed route with maybe a different element. Seems like these sides should be a sneak in, like auto bonus, random reward thing. There's just no flipper pointed in any direction to hit any of those side stand-up targets. So I have no idea how you'd spell Mars. I have no idea how you'd hit the other two. I don't know what happens when you hit these other two and you're not in the main end game. These games are going moderately long, considering, but that's a good thing actually, because that means I'm not dying immediately. It's one of the worst experiences when I cover one of these tables and I'm dying every 4 minutes, and we play like 30 games of just failure. So I believe there is a real world famous pinball that's around the spaceship, and I think it's called Shuttle, maybe? All the names on real pinball tables are so generic, it's hard to remember. And I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, it had like a really, really sharp ramp up the center lane, and the main thing you were supposed to do is shoot up that center ramp, and if you got all the way to the top, it would land in the shuttle's cargo bay, maybe? If I'm remembering this right.
Nice.
There's probably multiple pinball tables with a space shuttle in it, and space theme. And I may very well be mixing several of them together in my memory.
Awesome.
I think that
Houston, we lost you.
table had
Houston.
like a really high potential multi-ball you could have on it. But I swear I've heard somebody say there was a pinball table out there that does the 12-ball multi-ball. Just like, that seems like that'd be more pinballs than you could fit between two flippers at any one time. It seems like just craziness for craziness sake. Personally, even a 5-ball multi-ball is too much. We don't do enough with the Space Spider, and it's just in the way. Like this is one of the worst examples of blocking the player's vision, and still the table's playable despite it. We also are having the same issue where to move forward in anything, you have to hit the 2 or 1 targets that are flashing, and all the other actions seem to do nothing. At the very least, I would like, if they're going to say you have to go up one of these 2 ramps to move the mission forward, I would like everything else you do to add to the timer there. So, the only way you could actually run out of time is by not hitting any ramp or any target or accomplishing anything at all in the entire mission, in the entire pinball. But I think if you go up the wrong ramp, it should give you at least the equivalent of time it takes to usually go up that ramp. Otherwise, you run into the scenario where you don't have a chance of succeeding because you're now trapped in this long ramp that's feeding the ball back to the flippers.
Nice shot. Awesome.
So I'm trying to hit all these lit lanes. And I messed up again, darn it. So that was a short game. Even having a perfectly pleasant time, 47 minutes into it, I'm ready to be done with this table. I don't have anything really too negative to say about it. It's just there's nothing super interesting here either.
Awesome.
1 or 2 ambitious additions, something that did something differently, would be nice. Like being on Mars, you could have thought of a theme of going to Mars gravity, and that would like change the pitch of the table, or something like that. That would be cool, and that would be something you could do in a virtual pinball table that you really can't do in a real table, because I've never seen a real table that allowed you to adjust the pitch without taking the machine apart first, or maybe you could adjust the pitch through the operator's menu, because I know you can do that here, but it was never designed to go back and forth. There is a sandstorm mission, but we haven't been able to start it, which kind of is silly. I think that should happen pretty commonly. We should hit a target or a spinner that says sandstorm. No, there's a sunstorm, which is different. There should be a meteor shower mode. Maybe a dot matrix game. That probably worked pretty well. Let's see. Annoying scanning sound here. Wow, I just kicked that ball, I think, in the totally wrong place, but maybe I didn't.
Mission accomplished.
So mission accomplished again. Nice to accomplish a mission.
Houston, we lost you. Houston.
The table's still a little bit dull.
Fantastic.
And it does nothing with the face on Mars at all. It's just painted there.
Satellite reaching point two. Setting up orbit engagement.
There's no core samples or like rock samples, animation sound. They should have just had the voice actor ad-libs and stuff. Like, if they knew nothing better, they should have just had told the voice actor, just say a bunch of stuff about space and Mars, and we'll see what we can get out of it. And
Houston, we lost you.
like,
Houston.
and that would work pretty well. I think I just started a mission and finished it without succeeding.
Destination Mars.
If we're hearing these computers, they could have done a computer or AI crash or something. And it doesn't have to go the full route of being some robot that's gone crazy. It could just be that it's broken. You could do a hull repair. You could increase the oxygen levels of your ship. You could increase the speed of your ship. See, you might make a good just NASA table that just is about getting more thrust and getting enough propulsion and vertical delta vector thrust to get you off a planet. And so you can just do liftoff. If you've seen people play Kerbal Space Program, preferably not me because I'm not that good, that is such a struggle. You can make an entire table around that. Just getting off a planet or establishing a stable orbit or docking, which I never could get docking to work. I don't even know if I want to play another thing that's 53 minutes in here. I guess we'll play one more time. We'll go a full hour here.
Nice shot.
But I'm kind of hoping to lose kind of early also.
Space Rydo has reached its destination and is awaiting for mission initiated.
And of course, if I was trying to lose right now, I couldn't. I'd just get the ball kicked back to me. Now I can drain the ball if I felt like it. So yeah, just in general, Mars is a little bit of a dull table. It doesn't have anything super ambitious it's doing here, but of the elements it does have, none of it's bad. It is difficult to start missions and finish them a little bit, but not too I would say.
Nano combo reach.
I kind of wish there was a single place that would start all 4 missions instead of having to hit different things and do different actions to start different missions.
Right kickback activated.
That requires a lot of memorization to know, and is what I'm doing right now, unlocking like the refuel mission or the sunstorm mission. I wish we could do that multi-ball on the slingshots. You can see why 10 slingshot shots starting a multi-ball isn't an incredibly easy thing to do that happens all the time. But it is also a terrible way to start a multi-ball. It's an attempt at something that is just a bad idea, and most people should have the sense to know it's a bad idea to begin with. But Zen doesn't seem to have that sense. If they just did more quality testing, and they watched people play, they must have seen that nobody was starting in this mode, even when they were trying to. I just don't think there is that much quality assurance going on here. I think they just make the table and sell it for $3 to $10, and then they take the money and happily go. But in the end, it gives Zen a very bad name, and I kind of have to agree too. Is if I see the Zen Software Zen Studios logo or name, I'm not particularly thinking a quality product. Thinking, well, they'll probably do a decent job to make a buck or two. But it won't be great. I don't think I've been very awake. I should apologize to my audience. This is the first recording of the morning, and I don't think I've been super awake here. I keep yawning and pausing in the middle of conversations. I will record another recording after this, but I think I'm gonna, go splash some water on my face, try to wake up a little bit.
Awesome. Ball save.
I don't like how the ball save works. There's only one proper way for the ball save to work. It's to shoot it out through the plunger. Anything else is unacceptable.
Right kickback activated.
Wow! An ancient pyramid has just appeared on Mars.
Yeah. And yeah, we never got that pyramid to show up. I'm kind of happy we're not spelling anything. It doesn't seem like you need the ramps. It requires to go up the ramps multiple times. The only thing we're doing that's close to spelling is scanning a few things.
All scanned. Mission accomplished. We are running low on fuel. Refill the tanks.
And so we start the refuel mission again by scanning the ball. And we have a short timer to hit everything. Everything and anything we see working.
Amazing.
Come on, deliver that fuel. Apparently I have no timer to deliver the fuel, so as long as I don't lose the ball.
Houston, we lost you. Houston.
They don't even say, Houston, we have a problem. I wonder if that's copyrighted. I don't think it is. Because I think it is from something that was actually said, so... Well... I think I just hit the button too quickly there. What was the achievement we got there? Collected 5 samples with the magnetic drain. Deactivate the pyramid defense system, which is the final thing. So, not a lot to say about Mars. I guess in comparison, it's probably the best core table I've played so far. It was fun, and I might go back to it at some distant point in the future. I'd probably go back to it a lot quicker than any of the other tables. The difference between something like Portal or The Walking Dead and Mars is a little too quiet, where Portal and Walking Dead were a little too much talking going on. But those two were way more interesting. They had a story to tell. Here, Mars is just like the most general concept ever, and nothing happens, and there's no characterization and no twist to it. And the table's pretty general in itself. There's just a good mix of ramps and targets and everything. Some of them are slightly in the wrong place, and the fact that you have to unlock missions before you can do missions is a problem, but not a big one. I wish a few tweaks here, a lot less tweaks than any other table would make this a really good table. Let's look at the leaderboards. 2 billion, 2 billion, 1 billion, 1 billion. Well, there's a pretty big jump here, but everybody else seems pretty consistently next to each other, so take that as it is. I'm tired of calling people cheaters, even when I see these hugely different scores for things. So I wonder what my super score and all of that's what I didn't fail to look at, so I would have to like play another game and lose, and then it's not worth it. Still no friends, still no things. The top high score is 10 million, so I only played 3 times that got above 10 million. So this is probably a high score where I have a chance to do a lot higher too. Most of these tables I wouldn't be able to put up with them long enough to get a better high score, but this one I think I could. Let's see if there's any tournaments. Yeah, no. I don't know why I keep checking. If this means anything here, they haven't done another tournament in, let's see, over a year, maybe 2. And slowly approaching 2 years. So next time we will be playing what here? Now that we've done Mars, that only gives us, I think, 8 other tables here. And then we're going to do Civil War, which is part of 1, 2, 3 plus another 9 plus that. 13 remaining Marvel tables. So next time we'll do Civil War, and then we will do, let's see, this is Starfighter Assault, which I'm hoping it's really, really good considering how bad I felt episode 6 was. I may have called it episode 7 at one point in this recording. But that's 5 remaining here. So 13 Marvel, it was 8 individual, and 5 Star Wars. So that means we need to do a rebalancing. We need to do 2 Marvel, and so I guess starting now and starting next recording, we will do Civil War, and then we will do Star Wars, and then we will do Avengers, and then we will do Excalibur, and then we'll do Fear Itself, and then we will do Darth Vader. So we're just gonna alternate between all the Marvel ones, and that's the best way to keep it from becoming a long series of Marvels. If I don't do something like that, we're gonna end up doing 5 Marvel tables all at the end in a row. Anywho, that's gonna be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps out. If you want to support me further, you can click on my name Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.